My life was great up until, up until it wasn't, right? Life is awesome up until it'll sometimes slap you in the face. But it's your choice how you react with that. And if you ever read, Extreme Ownership, I love the concept there of, just take ownership of your life and stop with the excuses. And so I was presented with an opportunity like, hey, what am I going to do with my life? Because I was on the top of the world, flying fighter jets, teaching people what to do. And then all of a sudden you get slapped with cancer. So now I have to, have heart surgery all of a sudden, and then chemotherapy for the next few months that started hitting. I was forced to decide this new life path. And luckily for me, this was my first shred of like networking, which is one of my big kind of takeaways today. Within my own sphere of influence, I started to network where I was down, for instance, one day with chemotherapy, and I had some other fellow pilots come in the room, and they were like, "Hey, man, here's this book." The one pilot gave me Rich Dad Poor Dad. He's like, "I think it's going to resonate with you. Let me know what you think." Another pilot came in. He introduced me to Bigger Pockets. He's like, "I'm just going to warn you, you're going to be addicted." And another pilot came in and he taught me about, just the retail sales side of things, the agent side of things, and all of those amalgamated to be me being like, wow, like a true mentality shift in the way I saw the world and the way I saw business and the way I saw money and kind of the future in life, which was really cool. And it all started with networking within my sphere of influence. And so, my takeaway there was always be trying to network and learn from others. Now, just as in life, i.e., cancer or these surprise events that are going to happen in life, challenges are going to occur within real estate as well. So I was lucky enough to have a stellar support network while I was down for cancer. My family, my friends, the military, like everything was as good as it can be when you're going through something crappy like that. But you can have just as solid a network within the real estate world when you have challenges to overcome, these issues you have. For some examples of me focusing on relationships to have in these challenging times over focusing on the transactions. For instance, we had another deal. We were trying to beat out a cash buyer at a $1.1 million property. And the only way we could beat them out was, more money, but it wasn't going to appraise for much more, or closing quickly, and offering a higher EMD. So we were able to offer a higher deposit. And I called my lender. I was like, hey, can we close this thing quick? Like I need a favor here. And she was able to close a $1.1 million deal in 10 days to beat out this cash deal. So, that was things like that, to have that on hand, to have that relationship over focusing just on the money and the transactions. That relationship was able to create those transactions for me. Same thing with insurance. If with insurance, I had a client that was hit with a special assessment with a condo that he bought like a few days after he bought it. And, I call my title company, I call everyone else. And I'm like, all right, let me call my insurance broker, because I'm on the phone with him all the time. I got his cell phone number. It's going to be great. I call him. He's like, oh, dude, we got you covered. Yeah, we cover all your clients for special assessment coverage, which I didn't even realize was a thing. And so he calls me, and my client was able to get that special assessment paid without any deductible. So things like that, if I hadn't had my insurance broker's cell phone number and talked to him on the daily with that relationship, then, that would have been a major stressor for my client. Who knows? He probably would have paid for it out of pocket without even knowing it. And same thing goes wrong for title and inspectors and contractors. Like there's so many stories I could say about focusing on the relationships of these vendors really has just paid dividends. Yeah, sure. I might be able to save myself or my client $50 or $100 here or there on an inspection for a cheaper inspector. But the fact that I use my inspector every time, and he was willing to go out for me the morning after Christmas to make a deal happen, it was worth more than any other those minor savings that we're going to have in the long run. So the question is, how do you build these strong relationships? Like how do I get these strong relationships with these lenders, with the insurance folks, with the title, with inspectors and everyone else? It's through having a strong reputation. So it's as simple as doing what you say you're going to do. I don't shop around for inspectors anymore. That might be cheaper. Like I said, I'm going to focus on that relationship. As far as doing what I'm saying I'm going to do, if I'm going to write a contract, if I say to someone I'm going to write a contract, I'm going to write the contract when I say I'm going to do it. If I have a client who wants to focus on one specific neighborhood, and hey, I really want to land in this neighborhood, but there's nothing available, and I say, yeah, no, don't worry, I'm going to call all the houses in the neighborhood. Then I'm going to follow up and I'm going to call every house in that neighborhood to see if someone's willing to sell for my client. And so it's just things like that. It's just simple things, really, just following up and doing what you say you're going to do to really help out. And the last thing is really answer your dang phone. Like if you just answer the phone in this business, whether it be the investing side or the sales side, specifically the sales side, it's going to pay dividends. I'm sorry it's going to interrupt your life. Realize that what I'm saying now, as far as answering your phone, is going to interrupt your family time. It's going to interrupt your normal activities in your day-to-day life. This is not, hey, I'm not teaching you how to slowly take off an aircraft out of the runway. I want you to kick it into afterburner gear. All the focus is on thrust initially until we get airborne. And after you're airborne and you're safely on your way, yeah, you can pull the throttle back and rebalance your life. But initially, balance, if you want to kickstart your career right, balance is all on the career initially. And that's just something you need to do. So I prepared my family. I prepared for my friends and family for that dedication. I was like, hey guys, things are going to shift for a while now because I need to focus on real estate to make this happen. And just something that I found to be a required event in order to make this happen.